My perfect brother knocked up my fiancée, and my family cut me off. 5 years later. I'm 35 now, but 5 years ago, just a month before my wedding, my world fell apart. I found out my fiancée, Karen, 30, was pregnant by my brother, Chris, 33. They only confessed because she wanted to keep the baby. Karen and I had been together since middle school, through high school and college, so getting engaged felt like the natural next step. But after our engagement, she cheated on me with my brother. Turns out, a few days after we got engaged, Chris told Karen he'd always had feelings for her. He felt he had to confess before she married me, thinking it was his last chance. Karen realized she'd been catching feelings for him too. They'd even been flirting behind my back at family events. But Karen saw Chris as less reliable than me, so she stayed with me until she got pregnant. 5 years ago, months before the wedding, Karen, Chris, and my parents sat me down. They announced Karen and Chris were in love, expecting a baby, and she couldn't marry me. I was devastated, refusing to believe it. I begged Karen to come home and end things with Chris, but my mom shut me down, saying Chris and Karen were staying together, and I had to deal with it because it was their choice. I couldn't believe my mom was backing them. At least my dad looked ashamed and tried to comfort me, but my mom? She was all in, even telling me to keep quiet because Karen was pregnant and I shouldn't stress her out. She was obsessed with getting a grandkid, not caring about my pain. After that talk, Karen moved in with my family since her parents cut her off when she told them the truth. We canceled the wedding, and my parents covered the costs, so I didn't have to deal with that. But they basically disowned me for refusing to speak to Karen or Chris. For 5 years, we had zero contact. My dad reached out once, but I wasn't ready to talk. The rest of my family, uncles, aunts, cousins, kept in touch, but my parents and Chris? Silence. Losing Karen, who I loved for so long, crushed me. I needed therapy to cope, and even now, I'm not fully healed, but I'm learning to live with it. Through relatives, I heard Karen had a son a month after the split. A paternity test confirmed Chris was the dad, so they had no reason to contact me. They got married and seemed happy for 5 years. Then, a week ago, my mom called out of the blue. She'd been Team Karen and Chris, so I was shocked. Curiosity got me, and I called back after her urgent voicemail. Sobbing, she told me Chris was in a bad car accident, a hit and run that left him in a coma. Doctors gave no timeline for recovery, and 3 days ago, his condition turned critical. I thought she'd ask me to visit him, which I'd have done despite everything. He's my brother, and I don't wish harm on anyone, especially in such a dire situation. But then my mom blindsided me. She said she wanted me to step up for Karen and my nephew. When I asked what she meant, she clarified, with Chris basically gone, she expected me to move in with Karen and her son, support them financially and emotionally, and essentially take Chris's place. She said she'd take them in herself, but she's too old for that. She demanded I decide right then. I lost it. After 5 years of silence, her first call was to ask this? I get that Karen and her son are struggling, but why me, the guy they betrayed, without an apology? I told her she was delusional if she thought I'd agree, and when she argued, I hung up and blocked her. I tried to move on, but I couldn't stop thinking about Chris and Karen's situation. I felt bad for them, but replacing my brother in their family? That's insane. He's still alive, just in a coma, not dead. My mom acted like he was gone. The whole thing felt wrong. Later that day, I called my dad, hoping he'd be the voice of reason. Talking after 5 years was awkward, but after small talk, I asked about Chris. He said things looked grim. Then I mentioned Mom's request, expecting him to back me up. Nope. He agreed with her, saying Karen and I have history, and I'm still family, so it's my duty to step up. He called it not unreasonable. I was floored. My usually sensible dad was on board with this madness. For the past week, I've avoided my family, even cousins, scared they'll bring it up. I feel like a jerk for not supporting them, knowing they're hurting, but my mom's request is unhinged. I haven't visited Chris because the whole situation's too awkward. I can't even tell my friends, it's too personal. They know my family ditched me after the wedding got cancelled, but this is next level weird. So, I'm here asking, am I wrong for refusing to visit or help my family after my brother's accident? Pause the video and drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's get to the updates. Update 1, hey, I've decided not to visit my family yet, it's too much right now. I didn't realize how bad my anxiety's been since my parents' comments, but I'm back on meds and trying to cope. Your support in the comments and DMs means everything, thank you for reminding me I'm not alone. I opened up to close friends, and they said staying away is the right call. I need to put myself first, just like Chris and my family did 5 years ago. When my wedding imploded, no one was there for me, my parents chose my brother, the guy who betrayed me. They can handle this without me. I'm sorry for Chris, and I hope he recovers, but I'm done. I blocked them again and plan to keep it no contact. I'm considering therapy to deal with the old wounds this stirred up. Update 2, relatives say Chris's condition is still critical, with no improvement. It's been almost 2 weeks, and they're camped out at the hospital. I feel for them, but I can't fix this. Everyone who knows my family has visited Chris except me. I'd have gone, but I learned my parents are spreading lies about me to visitors, saying I refused to support the family and even claimed Chris's accident was karma for ruining my life 5 years ago. For the record, I never said that. Some relatives checked with me because it didn't sound like me. I'm a decent guy. I told them my parents made it up to paint me as the villain, probably to guilt trip me or because they're just awful. It hurts they're slandering me again, especially after blowing up my life once already. I'm lucky my relatives asked me directly, or I'd have lost them too. My aunts, uncles, and cousins have had my back these past 5 years, and I don't want to lose them. I don't get why my parents hate me. I've never done them wrong. Growing up, they always favored Chris, but this is next level cruel. Update 3, 2 days after my last update, my mom showed up at my house. I'd blocked her and dad everywhere, so she came in person. I was drained from work and almost drove off when I saw her, but she spotted me. I didn't want her inside. It'd be impossible to get her out, so we talked in the yard. Bad call. She ended up yelling, and neighbors noticed. She started with small talk, but I cut to the chase, asking why she's spreading lies about me. I said it's unfair. I've never wished them harm, even after how they treated me. I just want to live my life, but they make it impossible. I'd bottled up those feelings for years, and seeing her unleashed them. I told her I struggle to see them as family because they never treated me like a son. I was done with emotional talks after a long day and asked her to leave. She'd been calm until then, but flipped when I said I wasn't in the mood. She claimed she came to apologize for the lies and their treatment over the past 5 years. She said they were mad I didn't visit Chris or support the family, but realized they'd been unfair, and I was still hurt. She wanted to mend things for family unity during this crisis. But when I brushed her off, she snapped, saying I should be grateful I still have a family after my cold reaction to Chris's accident. She claimed my phone voice sounded indifferent when she told me, expecting me to be more emotional. Newsflash, I was upset. I don't wish harm on anyone, even them. Her accusation was baseless. She also said my refusal to step up for Karen and my nephew proves I don't care about family. It's like she's making stuff up to justify their actions. When she started yelling, I told her to leave. She tried following me inside, but I slammed the door and threatened to call the police. She cursed me out, saying I'd face consequences, then left. I don't know what she meant, and I don't care. Update 4, it's been 26 days since the accident, and my family finally got good news, shared via my cousins. Chris is improving. He's out of the coma and responding, a great sign. I genuinely hope he pulls through and keeps getting better. The past month was rough for everyone, including me, even though I'm not really family anymore. My parents' behavior these past 26 days shows they're unhinged, taking out their stress on me. After that yelling match with mom, things were quiet for a bit. Then dad called from a new number to scream at me. He called at 5 a.m., knowing I'd be groggy, so I'd pick up before realizing it was him. Sneaky. After 3 tries, I answered the 4th. He immediately called me an ungrateful child, said he wished I was never born, and threatened to turn the family against me for not visiting Chris or supporting them. After 5 minutes of yelling, he hung up and blocked me. I was too stunned to react at first, but now it's almost funny. My parents are so desperate to vilify me, they'll pull stunts like this for no reason. They needed a scapegoat, and I'm their go-to. But my relatives didn't buy dad's threats. They know I'm not the bad guy and remember what happened 5 years ago. With Chris improving, I hope my parents leave me alone and focus on him. Update 5, it's been almost 3 years since my last update. Crazy how time flies. A lot's changed, mostly for the better. I moved to Germany for work 18 months ago and love it. I've got a girlfriend now. We've been together 8 months, and I'm genuinely happy. I cut off my parents completely, and it's been a relief. I still talk to relatives who treat me well. Chris recovered from the accident, though it took time. He's doing okay now. Karen reached out after Chris started improving, wanting to apologize for the past. She showed up with flowers, saying sorry on behalf of herself and Chris, who was too ashamed to face me for what happened 8 years ago. I told her I forgave them and didn't care anymore, and I meant it. I've moved on, and my new life feels free. My parents haven't contacted me since, and I'm glad. I won't let them mess with me again. Huge thanks to everyone who sent love and support in the comments and checked on me even after I stopped posting. What do you think of this wild ride? Drop your thoughts below, check out our last video, link here, subscribe for more stories like this, and thanks for watching.